Hello everyone, I'm Simon Preston and welcome to Reggae Boyz commentary. Thank you very much for tuning in to another video on this channel. I have a very special guest with me this afternoon, and this is none other than Nick Hinds, left back playing with Major League Soccer with Nashville SC. Nick, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well and your family is doing okay.
Yep, I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have this opportunity to catch up with you. Nick, a lot of people might not know, yes, you had a couple of games with the United States at under 20 level, but you're born on
Mhm.
the island, was that correct?
Yes, Kingston.
And how old were you when you left Jamaica for the States?
I was very young. I was about 2 or 3 years old. I mean, I really don't have any recollection of, the living of Jamaica, but my parents are born and raised in Jamaica, so I kind of, learned off their experience and try and represent the country best as possible.
Yeah, and from that period of time, moving to the States, would you visit the island every now and again, summer break or anything?
Yeah, I try to. I mean, it's kind of tough due to the season being in, from February or January till December, and we have a short turnaround to go for our next season. But yeah, I try to plan a little time to go back to the islands, go back to my roots, eat some good food. Like the food's amazing there. So yeah, I try to go you know, every year, every other year.
Yeah, but I mean, like your time, being at Plantation and Kendall, like I had spent some of my youth in Pembroke Pines, so I know South Florida is like little Jamaica essentially. So you growing up must have had that experience and culture as well.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of guys on that plantation team, like you said, were of Jamaican descent or Caribbean descent. So it felt like we had a little family down there, and even to this day, I'm still close with those guys.
Yeah, okay. And when you took up the game of football, do you remember the first time, how old you were? Were you five? Were you six? And did you grow in love with the game since then?
Yeah, I mean, I was about, I want to say 5. My parents always tried to put me in every kind of sport possible, from baseball, hockey, tennis, just to find what I truly desire and what I love to do. Soccer stuck with me.
And as we know from that time, we spoke about Plantation and Kendall, and then the opportunity came to head to Seattle. What was that experience like going from
Yeah.
South Florida to a different part of the country altogether?
It was a little scary. I mean, moving in with a host family and hardly knowing them, and moving away from my family you know at a young age. I was 17. I didn't really know, everything I knew back home was family, football, and school, So moving to another city that I've never been to before, it was tough at the beginning, but it really helped me throughout my career. It helped me mature a lot.
And not a lot of people might remember, but you actually had the time to play for their second team, the Sounders' second team in the USL.
Mhm.
What was that experience like actually playing professionally, really, against, some quality players from across the country?
Yeah, it was definitely a good experience. I mean, when I was younger in the academy, they would call me up to play those games, and I feel like that really helped develop me as a player. Because when once as a young kid, when you get thrown out in the fire against older, experienced guys, it forces you to get better. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate the coach's trust and putting me out there, and helping me throughout my career.
And in terms of like where you play on the field right now, was the left side always where you played growing up, or you had other positions on the field, like a versatile player?
Yeah, so fun fact, when I started off, I was actually a goalkeeper. And
Wow.
then, yeah, and then coaches started to realize that, I have a little bit of speed, so they put me up top. So, like, I've been shifted everywhere my whole life. Majority of the time, I was playing on wing. So, and then, I got transferred to left back. So, yeah, I've just been all over the field my whole life.
Wow, that sounds good. But if, for an example, an opportunity came and the coach said, "Okay, we're going to push you a little bit higher up the field," you'll be open to that opportunity, I guess.
Exactly, because, it's just the memories I have playing that position back in the day. It's just you could put me anywhere in the field. I'm still gonna have fun. I'm still gonna try my best.
And during your time at Akron, you scored goals. Did you play on the left side as well, or was it a mixture of different player
Yeah,
positions?
So I started off at left back, and then my college coach, saw a little potential to put me at the number 10. So that was a little different, and being playing center mid and trying to create opportunities and stuff like that. It was different in my game, and like I said before, when playing against older guys, this is a different situation. Being put in a position that you never played before or you're not comfortable with, it made me step outside of my comfort zone and forced me to get my touches better, and stuff along that line. So it was
Yeah.
it was fun. I know scoring goals is fun and stuff, but I like to stick to saving
Yeah,
them.
and of course we spoke about the privilege you had to play for the United States at youth level. I just wanted to know what the experience was like because you're in a locker room with players that either with MLS franchises or playing overseas in Europe. Just being in
Mhm.
that dressing room with a lot of quality players around you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. I started off at U15 national team, and that was a little different. I feel like I wasn't ready in the sense because I was so young. I didn't really know, what came of it. But as I grew older and I was in the U18 and the U20 camp, just seeing those guys with high quality at my age really, was an eye opener that, what, like I have to dial in and take this serious and make sure that I get certain touches right. I eat off the field, I eat right, stuff like that, hydration, because, with those kind of players with high quality, you know, they're up there, they're top tier. So I had to make sure I was level with that as well.
Yeah, and an area that's I'm very proud of you about that you were able to make that transition and now in Major League Soccer with Nashville. How does it feel to get this opportunity and being with an MLS franchise?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. Obviously, I thank everyone from the coaching staff up to the front office for giving me the opportunity to showcase my talent and, help the team, help the city to, hopefully win titles one day. But I mean, the work doesn't stop here. Still have to put the work on the field, make sure, that me and my teammates gel together and just make sure that we get the job done.
And your franchise is blessed with quality players, CJ, Zimmerman,
Mhm.
amongst many other players from across the globe, really. Have your teammates helped you feel welcomed and settled into the new environment?
Yeah, I mean, in our locker room, it's very family oriented. So, we all stick together. We're all joking. We're all laughing. That's what I like about this team because, as coming from Jamaica, everyone is, so tight and so, like I said, family oriented before. So, I mean, we were all grown up that way. So just being in a locker room environment, especially when you're new, that people are welcoming you in is a great feeling.
Mhm. And as the MLS is one of the most watched leagues in the globe. What would it mean for you to one day put on the black, green, and gold of Jamaica?
Yeah, but that's in the works right now. I mean, obviously, nothing feels better than representing the country that you were born, where you're from. And yeah, I'm open to it, and hopefully one day I can represent my country. But right now, I'm just trying to make sure that I do my best for my team, and everything else will fall in line.
Yeah, agreed, 100% there. Just out of curiosity, have you been able to either watch the team play with the national team, the Reggae Boys, whether it's on TV or in person,
Mhm.
just to watch the games and the players?
Yeah, I've watched a couple games. I mean, it's pretty long ago, but the Gold Cup and stuff like that. Like I've watched a couple of them, and like even when I was in the academy, players like Damian Lowe was with the second team, and O'Neal Fisher was with the first team. So I got kind of got to know those guys a little bit. So yeah, I've been keeping my eye on it.
Okay. And growing up, was there like whether it's a Jamaican player or internationally, was there a player that sort of inspired you or was a role model to get involved into football, soccer?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably way back, but my dad had a little action with the national team in his days and stuff like that. So he would tell me stories about, how, the older you get, the more you hype it up and stuff like that. But Yeah, he used to tell me, his stories about how good it felt, representing the country. And I know this is probably in contrary, but the women's side and how they made World Cup for the first time and how the country was going crazy for it. So like little things like that is what really opened up my eyes, and it was like, yeah, like one day it could potentially happen.
Mhm. Yeah, I know you're probably like 1 or 2 years old when Jamaica was at the World Cup last, but I'm sure you saw video
Mhm.
clips online of what it was like and the goals and all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, quite an experience indeed. So, from your perspective, all you'd have to do, find out from your parents if they still have their Jamaican passport. You keep working hard, and it can be a reality one day.
Exactly. That's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, and I know, the pandemic has had its fair share of challenges on people. Have you had an opportunity yet to tour the city of Nashville or go to any socials just to know what the city is like?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a couple places. I've been downtown. Haven't really been able to tour the city as much as I possibly like because, training has been intense, and we were away for 2 weeks in Florida. And, sometimes the weather here, we had a snowstorm come through and flooding. So it's like things like that kind of halted that. But yeah, I've been able to get around a little bit, see a couple of things, and yeah, I'm growing into the city, and it's I really like it.
And what is Coach Gary like? An individual that played professionally in England and, had a decent career as well. What is he like, an individual to work with?
He's amazing. In my opinion, he's a coach that um, expects the most out of you. He makes you work hard, and every player, no matter what level, needs a coach like that. When I was growing up, one of my coaches was also like that on me, hard on me, and stuff like that. It makes you, sometimes in the moment it doesn't feel, right, but it pushes you to do your best. So
Hmm.
I like the fact that he's brutally honest, and he makes you work hard, and it just keeps you honest on the field. So when it comes to game time, it's like a breeze.
Yeah, and finally from me, Nick, I know it's not necessarily the normal that we're living in, but you're looking forward to the season. There might not be fans early on, but just to say that you're an MLS player and just to be playing week in, week out, you're looking forward to the experience.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I had a little experience of not having any having any fans in the stadium. It's a little bit weird, but I mean, at the end of the day, the games are televised, everyone's watching. So having fans there is a boost, but obviously the situation of there being COVID in play, like we totally understand the situation. But yeah, I'm just ready to get started, and hopefully, you know, get into one of these games one day, and show my talent.